Reference points. Everybody's talking about reference points, breakpoints, but how do we find them? What do we use them for? Let's have a quick chat about this. So the example will be Monza second chicane. You approach with, I don't know, fifth gear, sixth gear, quite high speeds, and you want to know when to brake. So we want to have some visual hints, clues, signs. Stomp on the brake, and this initializes the whole rhythm of going into the corner entry. And we want something where we can brake reliably every single lap. So we can do the same over and over again and then start to fine tune what we do. The second reference point we should have is an entry point. This is where the braking ends and we start to turn. But let's just focus on the breakpoint, finding a good breakpoint in the first place. So we have those obvious signs, markers like 100, 150 meter into the corner. Those are quite good and popular, but there are of course more. For example, those. And did you see those? So at this point for the entry level, of course, I could just say, okay, pick one of them and we are done. Thank you very much. But I have to admit that some of the breakpoints or reference points are worse than others. So, for example, if we stick with the very, very obvious shadow or rubber line and the condition changes, where are my breakpoints? That's not a good idea, you see. And of course, ACC is full of different conditions, especially when it comes to visuals. So rainy conditions make some of the spots not being easy to see. So you want to stick with things that are very obvious, also in gray scale of color. Then you have this. Do you see what is the problem? If you focused on the 100-meter mark, and especially in multiplayer, it happens that somebody goes over it, you're completely out of luck. And it's even worse because if you really rely on this reference point, it's like you will crash or run wide in this corner because you're waiting for your reference and it just doesn't appear. And then you notice, oh, I'm already far away. You know what I mean. So this is the next condition. Night is also very different, but of course, inside the car, it's not that bad. You see on the left side, there are those orange paintings, and they tend to be very, very good references, especially because here you can see we have one on the left, one on the right, and during the night in your spotlight, they are very, very well visible. Left and right is very important because you can, or hopefully will end up in a situation like this, where you actually need to search for, oh, damn, where am I? Because you see nothing. And if you're so close to a car and it starts to brake, you cannot react. You need to be in charge of the situation here because otherwise you're the bad guy who just kicks out this beautiful Nismo. You can also have this, and to be honest, I have no idea what to tell you about rain, night, spray. Yep, just let's go to the summary. In summary, you've seen some of the reference points are better than others. You won't really find those that are absolutely perfect. In this situation, I can recommend those three, especially the 150-meter mark on the right is a very good thing because it was visible basically all the time. And it's a good idea to have some kind of backup on the other side or in a very different spot. So if you're driving behind a car, maybe a bit to the left, and you cannot see the 150-meter mark, you should at least be able to understand roughly where you are on the track. That's it for reference points. Thank you very much.